Morning, everybody. This has the potential to be a fabulous football match. And there's the man they're all talking about, at least in one part of Madrid, Falcao, with 5 goals in the last 2 league games, playing against a Barcelona side that has none of their first choice central defenders out from the start. Puyol and Piqué have had injury problems and both on the substitutes bench, so it's Mascherano and Busquets at the heart of the Barca defence. The referee for this match, Delgado Ferrero, and we're underway at the Camp Nou, where the champions Barcelona have been imperious so far, at least in terms of the league. 2 home league games have produced 13 goals scored and none conceded. 8-0 against Osasuna, and the opening home league game was against Villarreal, where Barcelona played that 3-4-3 formation. There's been much discussion about Guardiola's prospect of playing that in a number of matches this season. Certainly didn't quite work out at the Mestalla in midweek, when a very good Valencia side exploited the spaces Dani Alves left at the back, pressing forward into more of a right-sided midfield role. But one talking point straight away, Jerry, that Atletico Madrid side, from a team that's just come off a 4-0 home win against Sporting Gijón, 7 changes for the coach Gregorio Manzano.
Well, I'm surprised there's 7 changes, and actually I'm surprised there's 3 in the back 4. And he may have 1 or 2 that are forced on him, but not that many, Kevin. And that's the defence. It's the best defence in Spain. And you're coming to Barcelona, you want to make sure your players are in top form. Have to question again, and I'm listening to the game and John talking about it. Centre backs, you know, I'm playing midfield players at centre backs. You know, it really is a risky game that Guardiola's playing at the minute. But their squad's starting to get a little bit thin. I see Ibrahim is injured for the rest of the season almost, and that's another blow.
Barcelona already having to do without Andres Iniesta. There's going to be another up to 3 weeks on the sidelines with an injury, and Alexis Sanchez, the summer signing from Udinese, is going to be out for at least another 6 weeks. And here's Messi. Incidentally, you did hear Jerry right there. Atletico Madrid have the best defensive stats in La Liga so far. Let's just emphasise that, so far this season.
Yeah, we've never been able to say that, not in the last 3 or 4 seasons I can remember.
Well, they're in for some examination tonight, that's for sure. Only the Brazilian Miranda played in the back 4 in Atletico Madrid's last game. This is Pedro, progressive run, turn behind in the end, and safety first from Mario Suarez. Opening corner of the game then for Xavi to take. Well attacked by Busquets, but just couldn't quite control the header.
There he is, Gregorio Manzano, who seems to have really turned this club around. He's not been here that long. Did a fabulous job at my old club Mallorca for 4 or 5 seasons, and he's got his dream job now.
Good header under pressure there from Falcao. Diego unable to take it on, but he might get a second bite at it here. Antonio Lopez. Tidied up initially by Alves and then by Mascherano. This is Godin. Diego. Thiago. Now Reyes. Back with Thiago! Valdez was beaten, and off the crossbar, and Atletico Madrid almost in front after 4 minutes.
Oh, it was a slick move as well, Kevin. The passing was excellent. Reyes comes inside, tees it up for Thiago, he clips it. You can see Victor Valdez on his heels. He can't do anything about that. That clips the top of the crossbar, and that's a let-off for Barcelona.
Here's Alves. Messi shuffles it out wide here to Cesc Fabregas, who scored in every league game so far this season. Fabregas goes to ground, clutching his face. He had a coming together there with Pereira.
Yeah, Pereira's flailing hand came back, I think, and caught him in the face.
Fabregas has had a dream start to his senior Barcelona career after they moved from Arsenal, the first Barcelona player ever to score in his first 4 league games.
I think it's a slap in the face, just as a palm with a hand. He might have caught him in the eye. Cesc, yeah, that's where it was. He's fine. He's had an amazing start, Kevin. I have to say, the understanding that he has with Messi and co is unbelievable, and to get 4 goals in 4 consecutive league games is, well, it's a record.
One telling comment as well by the man on the ball here, the captain Xavi, who says since Fabregas has arrived, Xavi says even he has become a better player. I'm making it sound like it was conceited. He didn't say it quite in that manner, but it was fulsome praise for the impact that Fabregas has had already. At times he's been playing as a centre forward and he's been relishing the role. Pedro looking to find a way past Godin, can't do so. Uruguayan defended well. Here's Fabregas. Messi. Now Villa. Messi. And they close him down well. It's good hunting in packs there from Atletico.
Well, you're right. That is a feature, Kevin, for me. How quickly they close down and how well they hunt in packs. They're well organised. Was he a little bit fortunate there, Gabby, to get that free kick? Well, there's something about them this season, isn't there, Atletico Madrid? They're definitely a different outfit, and they have got some real quality in there.
Here's Diego, the Brazilian, who's arrived on loan from Wolfsburg in Germany. Messi. Now Xavi. Alves. Suarez, the chest off here for Thiago. Pereira. This is Miranda. Perhaps an unfamiliar name to a lot of you. 27 years old, Miranda, the Brazilian centre-back, has played for the senior national team, 6 caps. Arrived on a free from Sao Paulo in the summer. I think what Manzano will be trying to do is get a settled defence. Mind you, as Jerry rightly said, he's made 3 changes to the back 4 tonight, so he's certainly not in any hurry to get that, but the quicker he gets an understanding at the back, they look a side who are going to score plenty of goals.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to work out, is it to do with European matches midweek? Is it a conscious decision? Is he trying to use his squad more effectively? You know, I'd ask the same question of Pep Guardiola when you see Puyol and Piqué on the bench, and that's definitely Barcelona's best partnership in terms of centre halves. And Thiago's penalised.
Atletico Madrid will travel to France to take on Rennes in their second Europa League group stage match. They've already beaten Celtic 2-0 at home. Barcelona will make a trip to Belarus in the Champions League to take on Bate Borisov. Beautiful pass from Xavi, and it's Villa! No mistake. What a cool finish, and a brilliant pass from the captain. Barcelona 1, Atletico Madrid 0.
Well, Kevin, that's the 3rd time they've attempted that pass, but it was inch perfect. I think if you look at it again, you'll see Pereira is actually sucked in a little bit to try and get cover on the 2 centre backs, and the ball was inch perfect over the top of his head. First touch from David Villa was excellent, and then he showed great composure as he dribbles around the defenders. There he is. You can see he's a couple of yards adrift. Super pass inside, composes himself and sticks it past Courtois, the young 19-year-old Belgian goalkeeper who's on loan from Chelsea. This is great composure from a top-class finisher.
David Villa's third league goal of the season, his fifth in all competitions.
See, you had a bad season last year. You had 23-24 goals. That's a bad season for David Villa.
Well, he's a player who guarantees you a minimum 20 goals per season. Iniesta and Alexis Sanchez watch on. And it's Xavi with the corner. Great noise around the Camp Nou. Thiago back here with Mascherano. Busquets, Fabregas, Alves, Thiago, Messi doesn't pass us now without an Atletico Madrid touch. Here's Abidal, Villa. Xavi expected Busquets to come onto that. This is Godin. Thiago. Now Reyes. Reyes just tussling there with his former Arsenal teammate Fabregas.
Yeah, they were together for what, 2 or 3 seasons at Arsenal.
Plenty of time here for Dani Alves, who doesn't look like he's playing in as much an advanced role as he did in midweek against Valencia.
I agree, Kevin.
Well, sensible when you look at the recent goal-scoring form of Atletico Madrid, but here's Pedro running free, can't finish. Antonio Lopez looking to the assistant referee on the near side, flag stayed down.
Well, it's another one of those diagonal balls. Look, Xavi on the ball, no pressure on him, and that's the one thing you have to do. You know Xavi's a top-class passer of the ball. Don't let him have that amount of time. Try and get his head down. And he looks up, picks out the pass, bang. That was the goal for David Villa. And it was almost another one at the other end for Pedro. He'd be disappointed without finishing, although I will compliment the young goalkeeper for coming out quickly off his line.
Interesting to get a look at this goalkeeper tonight, as Jerry said, just 19, Thibaut Courtois, who Chelsea signed from the Belgian team Genk in the summer, immediately loaned him out to Atletico. And Barcelona sweeping forward again with menace. This is Lionel Messi. Thought about the shot and then decided not to pull the trigger. This is Diego. Away by Lopez.
Well, Messi had a chance to get a shot off a couple of times, Kevin, as he comes inside. Here, that's the first one. Want another touch, want to make it look better, and eventually he's pressurised out. Closing down's good. very, very good closing down and working very hard as a unit not to allow him time on the ball.
This is Godin. Can't go back to Courtois. Messi was checking the back pass. A lovely little flick there. And taken on by Pedro. Now Messi! Oh, it's an own goal! An own goal by Miranda. And Barcelona double their advantage.
Oh, it's slick passing, Kevin, isn't it? Slick passing, but there's certainly a lot of good fortune involved in it as well. I think they felt maybe somebody might have been offside, and that's why the ball was dummied in the first place. Let's have a look at it. Messi's offside, yeah. So he lets the ball go, and he's not interfering with play. Pedro then goes for it. It's the defender who wins that ball. Then it ricochets off the defender. Oh, so unfortunate. I think the last touch comes off Miranda, so it's going to be an own goal. Have a look, yeah. Off Miranda, the last touch, and there's an own goal. Well, we've seen Barcelona take a 2-goal lead before. Up at Sociedad.
Now Barcelona have drawn 4 of their matches already this season, 2-2. And we've seen little of Falcao so far, the hot, in-form Colombian striker of Atletico Madrid. They just haven't had the ball. Certainly very little in the last 10 minutes. And here is Falcao, can't find a way past Mascherano, who seems to have enjoyed it, his role in the centre defence.
He's done a good job, Kevin. I have to say, I've complimented him on well, last season he must have played 8 or 9 times at the back, and he's done the same this season. So he's getting quite accustomed to playing at the back. Busquets is a different kettle of fish though, because he hasn't got that sort of pace, and one-on-one I'm sure he'll be found wanting.
Well, already in 17 minutes Atletico Madrid have conceded as many goals as they had previously done in the entire league season, as Valdez slips and was never really going to get to that, the Barcelona goalkeeper. This is Reyes. Teases one in, looking for Thiago. Rain starting to come down heavily here in Barcelona. Already seen Real Madrid score 6, and Jose Mourinho's side needed that in the Madrid derby earlier. They beat Rayo Vallecano at the Bernabeu by 6-2. Barcelona 2 up here. Goals from Villa and an own goal from Miranda. And we've got more La Liga football for you to enjoy on Sunday. Double-header. We kick off 7 o'clock with Sporting Gijón, bottom of the table against Racing Santander. 7:15 in high definition HD3. In the same channel from 9, it's Zaragoza against big spending Malaga. Messi. Pedro is wide. Now he's not. In the blink of an eye, he's in behind, but the flag's up against Pedro. But once again, this slick Barcelona movement.
Well, it had to be very tight. Let's have a look. Oh, I'm not sure he was off, Kevin. He looked in line, but they're so quick now, the players, and you can understand the officials getting 1 or 2 of them wrong.
Barcelona kicking off tonight, trailing the surprise league leaders Real Betis by 4 points. It's been an interesting start to the Spanish season. Who would have thought that Real Betis, promoted last season, would be the only team that still have a 100% record?
Who would have thought that Barcelona would have been 4th in the league and Real Madrid would have been 7th in the league at the start of today?
Yeah, Malaga are well up there, and
they're 3rd. Malaga's 3rd.
Sevilla, with their win against Valencia, have gone up into 2nd. Thiago. It's a nice touch from Reyes. It'll be a throw here for Atletico. Gregorio Manzano, the Atletico head coach, was highlighting the fact that they need to transform their home form into life on the road. Looks very impressive, but the last 3 matches have been at home. Yes, they've scored 10 and haven't conceded, but this was always going to be a tough fixture, of course, and in recent seasons they haven't been the best travellers in the league. Still coming to terms with the conceding of that second goal, an own goal from Miranda. Not much the Brazilian centre-back could do about it. Fabregas. Header won well by Miranda, on by Thiago. A rare touch here for Falcao. Diego. Good pass to pick out Reyes. Fabregas covering really well.
You know, it's funny, Kevin, though, the right back spot, there was nobody there the other night, and yet there's 3. You can see Fabregas is back, Pedro's back, and obviously Dani Alves hasn't gone forward. You can see what he was trying to do. Intended pass was for Xavi from Messi.
There's Suarez. Luis Pereira. Miranda. A little hasty with a pass there, Suarez. Stolen here by Villa. One expensive suit getting wet, but fancy he's got a few in the wardrobe. Taken on by Thiago. Thought he could have gone for goal there. It certainly opened up for him.
Great, Kevin. He's got him again, Thiago. They're winning it back very, very quickly, Barcelona.
Pedro. This is Abidal. Passing has been slick and quick. Very rarely do you see a Barcelona player take more than a couple of touches. It's Xavi. Alves. Fabregas. Xavi, there's that run again from Villa. Xavi picks him out again. Messi. Well, they're reducing an informed team into bystanders here. Atletico Madrid running around in circles and seeing very little possession.
Well, they're not getting a kick, Kevin. They're working hard, but they're very compact. They're coming in really tight, the two full-backs. And that's why the diagonal passes are on, and they're still doing it. They're still using it. Busquets doesn't need to take chances. Sorry, that's Busquets. It was Dani Alves.
I think it's that compactness under Manzano which might just deliver a better season for Atletico Madrid, because in recent seasons they've been far from a compact team, particularly away from home, and they've been so easy to break down. Here's Villa. Thiago. Xavi trying the shot, Miranda with the block.
Superb passing and movement as the rain intensifies. Miranda scored that own goal.
Beautiful intricate passing between Messi and Pedro, and it's Lionel Messi! It's superb! Now you see us, now you don't. Quick, dancing feet, and Barcelona may already be out of sight.
Do you know, Kevin, when you see the ball from the throw-in in a tight area in the corner flag with loads of defenders about, you think there's no danger. But see, when that little man gets the ball, there's always a danger. Fantastic body movement as well. Here it is, 1-2. Stretches, gets it, still 1-2 defenders. He beats both of them with one swivel of the hips. He takes the throw in, plays the 1-2. This is an unbelievable goal. He's passed two, and then at the near post, bang. Hernandez coming across to try and cover. He just mesmerises defenders and goalkeepers.
Just gave the goalkeeper the eyes at the last moment, didn't he? Beat him at his near post. So far they just haven't been able to test the stand-in central defenders Mascherano and Busquets. Barcelona with a fast start to this game, continuing very much in the same vein. It's now an amazing 16 goals in less than 2.5 home league games so far this season. Villa, Xavi, Busquets, centre back, up and open play, such is the dominance.
Well, just reading the stat there, Kevin, that is the 50th goalkeeper that Messi has beaten, scoring 125 goals into the process. And there's the possession, 71% possession for Barcelona. And that diagonal pass is on once again, superb. Out to David Villa. It might be raining, but the fans are singing in the rain.
We do tend, because they produce such extraordinary stats, to dwell on them week in, week out, but it is worth noting that Lionel Messi's goal-scoring record now for Barcelona stands, wait for it, 190 goals in 278 appearances. He stays fit. He's never likely to leave this football club, I don't think. Then I don't think anybody is going to touch his goal-scoring record in the future. Oh, Xavi trying to produce another defence-splitting pass. It's not just his goals, Jerry, the number of assists for Lionel Messi along the way too is just phenomenal, isn't it?
His enthusiasm, he plays football with a smile on his face, he enjoys training every day. The credit now.
This is Pereira. Xavi. Fabregas for rather Villa for Busquets. Messi dances past one, surges forward looking for the gap. This is Reyes. Look how quickly Dani Alves got to him there. Messi, little slip which has allowed Godin just to make up the ground there.
Well, the Uruguayan's done well. He needed that slip from Messi, otherwise Messi would have been to the ball first. Gregorio Manzano's trying to work out where he went wrong. Maybe 7 changes wasn't such a good idea, Kevin.
A couple of them enforced upon Gregorio Manzano due to injury, but certainly 4 players who were the starters in that thumping 4-0 home win against Sporting Gijón last week have been rested to the bench. Thiago's foul. Falcao rather. Looks a little like Thiago, who's made his move to Atletico Madrid permanent in the summer from Juventus. He was on loan last season.
It's a long hair, isn't it? They do look alike.
Alves. Abidal. Messi. Awkward one to take that for Pedro. Thiago. Fabregas for Alves. Xavi. Cesc Fabregas. Busquets. Nominally playing as a centre-back, almost drifted into his favoured central midfield role, Sergio Busquets, and Barcelona at times are just playing 3 at the back with Alves, Mascherano and Abidal.
There's only really Falcao up front, Kevin, so those 3 can certainly handle the one. But everybody's been forced back for Atletico Madrid to get behind the ball and keep it tight. They're not getting enough possession to cause any problems.
Free kick earned by Thiago. Finally a little bit of respite for an Atletico Madrid side that have been defending in the main. Falcao, 5 goals in the last 2 league games. Hasn't had a sniff yet. Piqué and Puyol watch on.
Well, they're resting them for Bate in the Champions League. Is that the plan?
Well, Piqué's been out for a month with a calf injury since he picked up the problem in the second leg of the Spanish Super Cup against Real Madrid. And of course, Carlos Puyol's had a bad time with a knee injury. Hasn't played much football since January. So softly with the club captain. Late challenge just outside the Barcelona penalty area, which I'm not sure the referee saw.
It's Thiago who's not happy. This is the incident. He's caught him with his studs, hasn't he, Miranda? The centre back.
Xavi. Busquets. Xavi again. Messi. Do get so much width into their play. Fabregas here asking too much of Cesc there.
Well, the angle was tight and the greasy surface for the rain didn't help his cause, but you can see the idea. This is the goal though, Kevin. Have a look at this from a throw-in. There's another one. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 or 5. He goes past before he sticks it in the back of the net. Another sensational goal from a sensational player.
Consistency of Messi's performances in the last 3 or 4 seasons have been out of this world, really. Very rarely is he anything less than an 8 out of 10. Very often more than that. Gavi losing out. This is Villa, Pedro, Thiago. Messi. Pedro for Villa. Alves. Unfortunately finding the backside of the referee, otherwise it was another fine pass from the captain. Still this relentless pattern of Barcelona possession. Is there anything that Atletico Madrid can do about this, Jerry?
Not a lot, Kevin. I don't think there's anything. They're not getting enough possession. Barca's at least 70% possession, and their passing, their touch is slicker, and the back four is totally demoralised now. But you made a good point, Kevin. There's only one of the normal back four playing tonight, so there's 3 fresh faces coming in. Trying to protect each other when they come in tight, Kevin, and narrow it. Then the diagonal passes are on to the wide players.
This is Mascherano. Well, I'm sure a lot of the talk from Gregorio Manzano to his players in the build-up to this match Barcelona defence and how fragile they've been at times. But here's Thiago, trying to cut it back for himself to get a right foot shot in, I think, but just overdid it. Immediately Barcelona harass Atletico Madrid into a mistake. Here's Messi. Oh, Fabregas looking in vain for a free kick. Referee had a very good view.
It was slightly congested, Kevin. There was at least 5 defenders in there, and Messi and Fabregas, as I said, this understanding, playing intricate little 1-2s.
Oh, little chip is delightful and skims off the bar, and Cesc Fabregas within inches.
Well, this is audacious, but what vision to see the goalkeeper off his line and produce a moment of quality like that, Kevin. Backspin on it, over the top of the keeper, Courtois, hoping that it's over the top. It's only just over the top. This is the tight area here, and he is blocked off, I have to say. He looked as if he was completely blocked off.
Well, it was almost a Fabregas goal for the 5th league game in a row. Well, from Atletico's point of view, just have to hope they can keep it to 3-0 by half-time and see if Manzano's got any changes in the locker, not necessarily in terms of personnel, but how they approach this challenge. And it's another mighty challenge from the champions on home turf. Xavi looking for Pedro. Godin will see it out. Pulling the strings again, Xavi Hernandez.
Well, I think it is fatal though if you stand off him, Kevin. You have to keep putting pressure on him, keep his head down, because once he gets his head up and he starts picking out the passes, that spells trouble.
Here's Messi. Can he take the ball on? It's going to be comfortable for Courtois. Messi just claiming that he was being balked slightly there. Rain as heavy as it's been all evening now, and heavy pressure on Atletico Madrid. Only 71% possession for Pep. Jerry and I witnessed Barcelona throughout 90 minutes in their last game against Osasuna, where they had over 80% throughout the match. Never seen it before.
Yeah, it was 85% the first half and 83% the second, so it averaged 84% for the whole game. Unbelievable. It's a pretty grim-faced Gregorio Manzano. He knows they're being outclassed, outplayed, and there's not enough a lot he can do.
Awkward one that for Fabregas. Out comes Valdez. Miranda for Pereira. The only thing we've seen so far from Atletico Madrid, they actually did reasonably well in the opening 4 or 5 minutes. Remember that Thiago shot that clipped the top of the bar at 0-0?
Yeah.
But since then, Barcelona have showed their class. Messi. Diego. Correa. Suarez. Good steal that from Xavi. Now Messi. Trying to slide it through for Xavi, and it was well cut out in the end by Diego Godin. Falcao lacking any support there, even if he had won the header. Heading towards referee Delgado Ferrero's half-time whistle. I don't think there'll be a great deal of stoppage time. It's been a very fluid first half. There is indeed no added on time. Barcelona at their best again. Xavi at the heart of everything that's been good about the reigning champions. Goals for Messi, an own goal for Miranda, one for David Villa, who opened the scoring. 3-0 at the break.
Iniesta, and without Afelai, 3 midfield going forward, 3 top players.
Okay, let's rejoin our commentators, Jerry Armstrong and Kevin Keatings.
Welcome back to the Camp Nou. Those couple of supporters struggling with their protective rainwear, as difficult as it has been for Atletico Madrid to defend tonight against a Barcelona side in an attacking sense who's been as good as we've seen this season, and they have been very good in both their previous home league games, putting 8 past Osasuna without reply and 5 past Villarreal. Pep's decided that the suit jacket should depart, and he's got the Barcelona tracksuit top on at the start of the second half. The rain continuing to fall. Arda Turan is on at the start of the second half for Atletico Madrid. Turkish midfield player who's come on to replace Mario Suarez.
It's a landmark 300 appearances as well tonight, Kevin, with Victor Valdez.
He's had very little to do. Just watch that Thiago shot very early on in the match when it was goalless, strike the top of his crossbar. Other than that, he's been largely unemployed. Valdez now just 1 match behind Andoni Zubizarreta in terms of league appearances as a goalkeeper for Barcelona. So very shortly he will become the record appearance maker in the league as a goalkeeper for Barca. And very soon Xavi will surpass Migueli's record for La Liga appearances in total. Here come Atletico Madrid, plenty of red and white shirts coming forward here. Real chance for a goal, but nobody for the tap in. But they attacked in numbers there, and Barcelona was struggling to plug the gaps. Now it's Fabregas. Breaks on here. Xavi, Messi, Villa, man who opened the scoring tonight. Xavi. Block was a good one from Thiago.
Well, they're having a bit of a go since Arda came on this left side, Kevin. Very productive on the left hand side. Good piece of play, good ball into the box, and could have resulted in a goal. Gregorio said to him, throw caution to the wind.
This is Diego. Free kick against Thiago Alcantara. Gerard Piqué will be itching to get some more playing time under his belt. Maybe a good situation if Barcelona can maintain or even extend their current advantage, to give them a few minutes tonight. Fabregas, who's looking at the moment indispensable in this Barcelona team. Villa. Busquets. Lots of time here for Fabregas. Now Messi. Fabregas. Alves. Thiago. Fabregas. Now Villa. Miranda. Next goal is absolutely crucial.
It is, Kevin. If it goes 4-0, then it could be a heavy score, heavy defeat. But if they can get one back, Atletico Madrid gives them a little bit of hope and respectability.
Lovely touch from Xavi. Here's David Villa. Messi. Turned away by Miranda. Fabregas to Thiago. Drops the shoulder. Gets around Gavi. Can't test Courtois.
Good individual skills from Thiago Alcantara. He does go past him very easy. Unfortunately, the shot's not too clever. But he's getting a lot of games now, Thiago, this season, I have to say. Worried about whether he's going to get some matches in or not. Lots of time in the first team, which can only make him a better player, playing with the likes of Xavi and Messi and Cesc Fabregas.
And you're right, Jerry, about his playing time. Started 4 of the 5 league games. Thiago so far this season. Here's Abidal.
Just agreed a new 2-year deal. Eric Abidal with a 1-year option on that as well.
Here's Xavi. Alves. Fabregas. Abidal.
Looks like they're going to give some playing time to PK.
Fabregas going under good pressure there. Messi, Villa just having to check his initial run. Look how quick they are to recycle possession. Just strangling, smothering Atletico Madrid, and it's Messi! And that's a good save from Courtois, the teenage goalkeeper, out very quickly to meet Lionel Messi.
What a fantastic pass from Cesc Fabregas. First touch could have been a bit better from Messi, I think, and credit to the young goalkeeper. Courtois again, Kevin, he's come out, spread himself and did enough for me.
It's Busquets who will make way for PK. Huge roar for Gerard Piqué, who's had his mind on matters other than football at times this past week. I'll hear more about that in a moment. As Barcelona have a corner, which will be taken by Xavi Hernandez. Piqué almost met him. Abidal did. Corner.
Well, Piqué's only on and he's in the wars already. He and Miranda were getting to grips with each other.
Messi with the corner. Easy take for Courtois. Yes, Lionel Messi and Gerard Piqué were involved in an incident this week, which didn't go down too well with one of the coaching staff. They actually took his motorbike and burnt it. Apparently it was making far too much noise for Messi and Piqué's liking, so they stole it and they burnt it. And the chap was not best pleased, as you can imagine, until they turned up a few minutes later with a brand new one. Less noisy, they tell us. He's known for a few pranks, isn't he? Piqué in particular.
He is the prankster, yes. Saw him take the nets after the Champions League final at Wembley. And the groundsman wasn't too pleased for them there either, I'll tell you that.
This is time and space for Eric Abidal. Xavi. Messi. Thiago. Godin. Falcao having to come deep, trying to be a presence in this match. Colombia has seen so little of the ball tonight.
He probably feels that he's been spending most of the game chasing and closing down. That's what Barcelona do to you.
This is Gavi. Arda Turan, who was tracked by a number of clubs over the last couple of seasons or so, the Turkish international. Atletico Madrid paid €12 million for him, offside. Tight one against Messi.
No, I think the linesman was right on that one. He was just leaning wrong side. Look, he's gone slightly early, Kevin.
Not a good clearance out from Piqué. Abidal. Fabregas. Xavi. Now Diego for Atletico Madrid. A lovely looking pass to pick out Falcao. Thiago in very swiftly there on Gavi. Pedro. Fabregas, Abidal, Messi, Alves, Xavi, Fabregas. A lovely pass and excellent run from Pedro.
Their patience is unbelievable, isn't it? They'll get 5, 10, 15 passes and then they'll go for a decisive one. But even when they lose the ball, Kevin, they work so hard to get it back again. The opposition gets maybe 1 or 2 touches and then suddenly Barcelona has recycled it, they've won it again.
Here's Messi, scorer of that brilliant Barcelona third goal. Not much progress there for Salvio, who has come off the bench for Atletico Madrid, trying to force something down the right-hand side. That was a decent ball in, looking for Falcao. Valdes just getting a hand to that, perhaps. I think the goal kick's been given. Maybe the last touch off Falcao. I think he does get a touch here.
It's a good ball. I'd say it's a good ball because he gets that half a yard in front of Gerard Piqué, but Victor Valdes has come out, he's been positive.
Piqué. Don't often see a long misplaced pass like that from Barcelona. It's one of the features of their game, the fact that they play their passes so often short, quick and purposeful. One of the byproducts of the fact that they play so many short passes is if they do misplace one, they don't have to chase too far to win the ball back, which they're so effective and adept at doing. They don't waste a lot of energy, this team. Fabregas, Villa,
He's injured his hand here, is it?
This is Dani Alves. Messi back with Alves. Just out of the reach of Messi, didn't quite reach David Villa. Thiago sorted that corner.
How much is he enjoying his football there? Dani Alves coming on, lovely little 1-2. And then the cross from Dani Alves. Can't find the mark, causing enough problems to win the corner kick. But they've always got a smile on their face, Kevin. I'm not surprised playing the brand of football they play.
Xavi's corner. And there'll be another. Way off the head of Diego Godin. It'll be a boost to Pep Guardiola to have Piqué back and playing again. Puyol fit enough for the bench, started the last 2 league games, Carlos Puyol, after that lengthy knee problem. welcome returns when you consider there's no Iniesta, Alexis Sanchez, and now Afellay, who's going to miss most of, if not all of the season with a knee ligament injury picked up in training. A real blow, and have to feel for Ibrahim Afellay, who missed the start of the season already with a slight hamstring problem. Now knee ligaments and months on the sidelines for him. Gabi. Arda Turan. Solid work from Alves. Abidal. This is Villa. Xavi. Barcelona haven't found a goal in the second half so far. They've continued to have all this possession. It's been slightly better organisation from Atletico in the second period.
I think so. They're working tremendously hard, Kevin. They are denying them space, but it's slick passing here. It's a great ball.
And Messi denied by a really good challenge from Pereira.
Well, everything was good about the movement, the passing. His first touch was good, but before he can pull the trigger, there's the tackle comes in from Pereira. Excellent defending.
Atletico Madrid without a corner to their name in 66 minutes. Diego. Arda Turan. Firm challenge there from Mascherano on Falcao. Piqué. Xavi. Messi. And Vieira! Denied by Courtois. What great pass from Messi. Took out all the defenders. Vieira's movement as usual, top draw. Away come Atletico, trying to fashion a real goal-scoring opportunity. They've had so little to feed on in and around Victor Valdez's goal.
This is brilliant. He sees the run, times the pass to perfection. Good goalkeeping. Again, credit to him. He spreads himself well, doesn't he, Courtois? And he's getting good experience at the age of 19 here in La Liga.
This is Diego. Change of direction there from Xavi. Free kick in favour of Messi.
Well, this is superb skills from Xavi. He's just a master on the ball, isn't he?
Never hurried. Gerard Piqué just into the final quarter of the game. This is Miranda. Pereira. Diego Godin and Gabi. Diego straight to the grateful Abidal into overdrive, trying to slide it through towards Messi. He's looking to gallop away from Miranda, who covered well enough.
Well, they don't be without possession for too long, Kevin. 1, 2, maximum 3 passes from Atletico Madrid, and then suddenly Barcelona has possession again, and that has to be soul destroying for them.
Piqué unable to make his challenge, and Alves and Pedro looking to cover in behind Piqué. It's been a yellow card flourished at Gerard Piqué for his initial attempt to win the ball.
Well, he was a wee bit sluggish. You can see he's been out for a while. He's late on Falcao. He gets a wee bit of the ball, but more of the man. Godin's one of the players who's standing over the ball.
And finally left Diego over it. Godin, they rather need in a more forward area for Diego's delivery. Valdez amongst the crowd with a really strong fist away. Now Messi gets away from Gabi. Got Villa to his left. Still it's Messi. Oh. Referee right up with play, and he's going to book Luis Pereira for a challenge on Messi.
He's taking him out, Kevin. What a mesmerising run that was. I think he was looking at the options. He just took him out, didn't he? He knew he couldn't get the ball. He had to take him. The skill and the balance at that pace. Just pure desperation.
Our minds were going back a few years there, Jerry, when we did the Copa del Rey game against Getafe, and that goal from Messi.
Remember it well.
Never to be forgotten. Fabregas off, had another fine game, but he won't score for a 5th league game in a row, replaced now by Seydou Keita. And we've got an option here, left foot Messi, right foot Xavi. Villa on the premises, but it'll be Messi. Puff of the cheeks. How close was it?
Well, it's close, but no cigar. We're talking inches outside the far post.
Diego's foul on Xavi. Thiago. Keita. Assistant referee has given a foul against Antonio Lopez. Barcelona have really worked the Atletico Madrid fullbacks tonight, Pereira and Lopez. It's been a feature of Atletico Madrid's recent displays, the attacking fullbacks they've had, who played a good part in their recent good run. Felipe, the Brazilian left-back, dropped to the bench, one of 7 changes made by Manzano tonight, and Silvio, their Portuguese right-back, who has been brought in the close season from Braga, is injured. So that was enforced upon Manzano, but certainly could have gone with Felipe tonight.
I was disappointed they didn't, Kevin, because, you know, we saw what Valencia did against Barcelona. Mathieu, particularly on that left side, caused all sorts of problems, and that prevented Dani Alves getting forward. And they're wary of that now.
So the big two back to winning ways, or so it would seem. Real Madrid have already won 6-2 in the Madrid derby against newly promoted Rayo Vallecano, who took an early lead in that game and contested the first half pretty well. In fact, up to about an hour before Mourinho's side ran away with it.
Yeah, and they did that with 10 men, Real Madrid. That's the second time I've seen them reduce to 10 men in a matter of weeks.
Another hat-trick for Cristiano Ronaldo. It's his 10th hat-trick for Real Madrid.
I think he's one behind Lionel Messi, isn't he? He's had 11 for Barcelona.
Here's Xavi. It's a well-timed run, this. It's very good cover from Lopez. Closing out Pedro.
Well, two Spanish internationals together. Antonio Lopez does really well before Pedro can get the shot off.
Thiago. Oh, lovely trick. Spooned away by Courtois. Messi on the follow-up. Now it's Piqué. Keita. Ball had travelled out. It'll be a goal kick to Atletico Madrid. Lovely trick though from Thiago, which brought a gasp from the crowd.
Unbelievable skill. Have a look at it again. Well, Antonio Lopez will remember it for the next time, won't he?
It is truly astonishing though how Barcelona have reduced good sides like Villarreal and Atletico Madrid at home so far this season and made them look really ordinary, and they're far from that. They're two good sides.
Yeah. Well, I think they're creating a fear factor here at the Nou Camp, and the amount of goals that they're scoring, the chances they're creating, but it's possession. If you've got that amount of possession every game, 70-75%, and you've got the creativity that they have, you know you're going to get goal scoring chances and you're going to score goals.
Salvio has forced a corner. First Atletico Madrid corner ends tamely. Good ball from Abidal. This is Dani Alves. Spoons rather luckily into the path here of Messi, who could take full advantage. It's Lionel Messi! You can't stop him. Even in the tightest of positions, he finds a gap, finds that acceleration, and yet another goal in this fantastic run since he burst onto the scene as a precocious 17-year-old in the first team, and that familiar refrain of Messi, Messi rings around the Camp Nou.
Well, he deserves all the adulation he gets because he is something special. His touch, his acceleration. Here's the ball. It's a loose pass, one touch, and then drops his shoulder, and then he accelerates past another one, and then he whips it in through the legs. I think it's Godin who's coming across. The big Uruguayan centre half can't stop him as he shoots. It goes through Godin's legs into the far corner of the net for goal number 4 for Barcelona. They have absolutely destroyed, I think, a good side. Atletico Madrid are a good side.
Well, they pluckily held Barcelona at bay when the half-time score was 3-0. But just not a lot you can do about that. Takes his total of goals since the start of last season in the league, or in all competitions, Lionel Messi, 64 in 64 games. Atletico Madrid bringing on the Spanish under-21 international Adrian to see if he can find a goal here. The final 10 minutes, it will be only a consolation. Thiago was the player who went off, and now Eric Abidal will make way for Maxwell. Every game a bonus for Abidal, of course. He says he has a different perspective on life after his only troublesome tumour on the kidney, which thankfully now seems to be behind the French fullback. A great round of applause as he departs, and Maxwell on.
Maxwell needs some match practice as well, Kevin. He hasn't had a lot of minutes this season, and he's fine for the... Well, you've got Adriano also on the left back spot as we watch the goal again. Look at the way he changes his direction and his acceleration. They're trying to kick him. Miranda's trying to kick him again. There, he tries to kick him, they just can't stop him.
It's going to be a fifth successive league defeat for Atletico Madrid at the Camp Nou. But overall, they've been pretty competitive since they returned to the Primera Division in 2002 against Barcelona. Won as many as they'd lost before tonight.
Gotta be happy.
This man's record, Jerry, is getting better and better. 118 league games in charge of Barcelona prior to tonight. 190, lost only 8. And he isn't going to lose this one. Villa. Got out quite easily by Miranda. Xavi. No need to extend themselves now, Barca, with that trip to Belarus and Bate Borisov in the Champions League on Wednesday. It's a match you'll be able to see with us on Sky Sports. Our fabulous coverage of the Champions League will resume again, match day 2. This is Maxwell's ball in. Under no pressure, Antonio Lopez to clear. Falcao for Diego. It's a good pass from Diego. Victor Valdez out very swiftly. Follow-up shot is just wide, with Valdez trying to regain his ground. He hasn't had a lot to do tonight, but he made a good save here.
Well, he was quick off his line, he was backpedaling in the end, but I think he had it covered. There's the pass, he's out, he spreads himself, does enough, and the shot from Gabi is well wide of the far post.
Adrian, the player denied on the one-on-one. Here's Messi. Xavi. Villa calling for that diagonal ball again. Instead, Xavi works it wide here for Dani Alves. And Xavi! He's disappointed. He didn't work the goalkeeper there.
He is. He had a little bit of space and time. The cross come in from Dani Alves, and I think you're right, Kevin. I think he feels he should have done better. He's hammered it into the ground and never really got a clean connection. If they did get another one, it would just be the icing on the cake, wouldn't it? At 4-0. Did he offer it to Pep Guardiola before kick-off, he would have taken it with both hands.
Thiago. A lovely pass to pick out Alves. Only Messi in the penalty area. Alves has made his way in now, and suddenly there's lots of Barcelona players on the scene, but Atletico Madrid will get the respite of a free kick. But the pressure on them as a team as a whole, but particularly from a defensive point of view, has been just so enveloping, and they just haven't been able to escape from it. And when they play like this, Jerry, they look simply unbeatable, don't they?
Yeah, they have no equals. They have no equals when they play this sort of football at this tempo, and with the quality of the passing, and it must be soul destroying for the opposition.
Well, he'll hold his hands up. Very experienced and well-respected coach here in Spain, Gregorio Manzano. The side might be on the end of another goal here. Messi seeking a hat-trick. This is Villa. Away by Godin. Alves. Messi. Just a little too heavy for the willing run. And he's always willing, Dani Alves.
Good athlete. Sometimes his final ball can let him down, Kevin, but if you want an attacking full-back, he's as good as there is around.
Here's Miranda. Perea. Diego. Foul by Mascherano. Good turn and run that from Falcao.
That's excellent strength as well. It's a trailing leg from Mascherano that does the damage.
Manzano thinks Falcao, the Colombian international, will be rubbing shoulders with Messi and Ronaldo in terms of goals this season, but he just hasn't had any service to feed on so far.
Antonio Lopez has a sweet left foot, and he see a way to get it up and over the wall.
Well, having shipped more goals than they would have expected to so far this season, Barca will cover the clean sheet, and Valdez's goal remains intact.
Close but no cigar. That's not a bad return. 13 shots a goal from Barcelona, 4 goals. And I would say the young goalkeeper saved at least 3 or 4 one-on-ones, Kevin.
Yeah. Decent look tonight at what Chelsea have bought for the future. 19-year-old Thibaut Courtois, who up until tonight had only conceded 2 goals in the league. In fact, 2 goals in all competitions. They've kept 7 clean sheets in 9 games so far this season at Atletico Madrid. Torn apart here, Thiago, and it rebounded off him last.
Well, it's a fabulous pass from Xavi. He's coming back inside on his right foot. There's cover players, there's lots of cover players for Atletico Madrid, and Thiago's chance has gone. But he's played well again tonight, Kevin. He's developing as a top-class midfield player, just like Messi did 7 years ago when we started watching him.
Playing 2 minutes of time added on. Here's Thiago. Messi wants the return, gets the return off Villa. Messi, another hat-trick. You just don't expect him to miss. Once he found the gap, brilliantly picked out by David Villa, and that is the icing on the cake. Barcelona 5, Atletico Madrid 0. Lionel Messi with his 12th Barcelona hat-trick.
Well, today's the patron saint of Barcelona, La Mercy. Well, Messi showing no mercy tonight, I'll tell you. Unbelievable. Quality run once again. Played the 1-2, got it back, and dispatched it so well. Look at the red and white shirts around it, but once he gets it back, touch, and bang, Godin's coming across. He's not going to get across in time. And he's in this sort of a mood. Beware.
"12 goals already this season for Lionel Messi. It was the last act of another class act from the reigning champions. They may be leaking a few goals away from home, but here in the league at the Camp Nou, it's been exemplary. 18 goals without reply in